Trump and National Guard or not? Let's see here. Let's get this thing popping.
A deadly Labor Day weekend in Chicago as President Trump continues to set his eye on the city, threatening to send in the National Guard as early as this week. At least 52 people have been shot in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. 7 of those victims died.
The violence included 3 mass shootings that happened at Haddon in California, in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood, and 2 in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, 35th and State and 36th in Cottage Grove. ABC 7's Jasmine Miner talked to people in Bronzeville about concerns about 2 mass shootings happening within 48 hours.
Many here in Bronzeville describe the neighborhood as on the come up, and they say they're not going to let the violence stop the positive work they're doing. For one woman, that means keeping kids healthy, active, and on the field.
We're gonna push through because it disservices the kids.
Alexis Hawthorne, owner of the top-tier university football youth program, says even gun violence won't keep her from serving kids in need. Their practice comes just a few hours and down the road from a mass shooting early this morning. 5 people were shot near 36th and Cottage Grove near Ellis Park, including a 17-year-old who was in critical condition.
At the end of the day, to have one person that was critically injured and 4 folks in the hospital, whatever the situation was, it was senseless.
It is the second mass shooting in Bronzeville in the last 48 hours. The other happened on Saturday night near 35th and State, where 7 people were hurt during a drive-by. Those like Alderman Pat Howell are taking action, telling ABC 7 in a statement, "I have long asked for additional police manpower to deal with large illegal gatherings and pop-up parties that routinely occur throughout the Bronzeville neighborhood." It follows Mayor Brandon Johnson signing an executive order this week to avoid the Trump administration from sending the National Guard into the streets of Chicago.
Us as people, we can come together and fix it out on our own. We don't need no one to come here and, wreck shack our community.
Others think the troops could help.
I got kids, and I want to see the community better. I run every day out here. I exercise out here. So for the street to be safer, I think it's really good.
So as you see there, before I play the mayor's message, what is your thoughts on this, April? We already know, we covered DC, how they had cleaned up their streets with the National Guard, how crime has been shut down, how guns have been taken off the streets. What are your thoughts on this? I think you're still delayed a little bit.
I guess since Plug ain't here, it's gonna be me tonight. But I don't even know. Did you say anything?
Yes, I was asking you, what are your thoughts about Chicago residents? Some of them not wanting the National Guard and Trump to come clean up the city. Some of them feel like they can do their own thing. And I wanted to get your opinion before I play what the mayor actually had to say.
If they feel like they can do their own thing, then why haven't they done it already? And why is this still occurring? So obviously they need some help.
Big fact. Shout out to Oz. Good evening, Oz. We starting out with an icebreaker just for you, man. Politics is normal. We're talking about the mayor of Chicago saying that they don't need the troops. I think they do. We just showed a video. If you guys are just tapping in, they had over 53 shootings. 7 people actually were killed from these shootings in Chicago. We all seen what the National Guard can do and can provide. So what I'm going to do now is play this video of what the mayor of Chicago had to say yesterday on Labor Day, after this was actually before all the mass shootings.
No federal troops in the city of Chicago. No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. Are you prepared to defend this land? If this president decides to continue to break this Constitution, it's going to be the labor movement that stitches it back together.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson rallying against President Trump's offer to deploy federal troops to help the city fight crime. Now, this despite a violent holiday weekend. At least 7 people were shot and killed and dozens more wounded.
So as you see there, you had Mayor Mohawk. That was his nickname during a lot of the races. He doesn't feel like the National Guard needs to be there. I don't know how people can feel safe knowing that in one day, this wasn't over a span of a weekend. This wasn't over a span of a month. In one day, over 52 people were shot. 7 people were killed. And I don't know if you guys been paying attention to Charleston's White interview. I know a lot of times, a lot of the things he says get overlooked. But that young lady that said they didn't want anyone there, people who own these nonprofits and they're getting money off the states and stuff, they don't want National Guard to come there, because once you clean up the streets, you don't need these programs that were there to clean up the streets. A lot of these nonprofits are people who are actually making money off of nonprofits in these cities that are highly crime ridden. These people are actually receiving money, and they will stop receiving funding if the need is no longer there. So a lot of these people don't take it for granted, man. A lot of these people do want their city to be safe, and I just don't understand it. So, and I think April is still having a little technical difficulty over there. Oz said, OMG, I came at the perfect time. Yes. Doesn't Illinois have really strict gun laws? It don't matter, man. What's up, Skywalker? Skywalker in the building. It seems like something is almost too coincidental. Yeah. It's very interesting. I don't know how, as a people, you wouldn't want to feel safe in your own community, in your own environments. I understand what some people think could happen, right? Some people think it'll become martial law. Some people think it'll go a little bit further than it needs to go. But right now, how many more weekdays can you have with 52 to 47 people being shot, 7 people being killed? Like, at what point do we want to make a change? Let me unmute you real quick. Unmute your mic. For some reason, it won't let me do it. There you go.
I would be even scared to go to the grocery store or even go outside, especially if it's like a neighborhood that I like dwell in and live in every day. So something needs to be done.
Yeah, it's just very interesting to me. I don't know how people could see what's happening and not want any form of help. And then you guys are just asking for more police presence. You can't just create more police presence if you don't have more police. Like, I don't know where you guys want to get these bodies from. I don't know how you guys want to secure your city, but I think it's very interesting that you guys hate who the president is that much that you would rather have your people sacrifice than to actually clean up the city.
Right.
Skywalker said, "This does it not sit well with these are concentrate." Oh yeah. You know, you got Detroit, you got Chicago, you got DC was one, Baltimore is up right now. But all these areas don't want to get fixed, man. They don't want help. They're not trying to hear it. You know what I mean? When I was actually watching this, and I was watching those 2 clips before we came on today, I thought about, like, did this ever happen in slavery? Like, did this happen in slavery? Did this ever happen in history at one point where there was an option to possibly receive some help or some relief, and we just couldn't agree on what we wanted the relief to look like? So just something to think about. It's an icebreaker. April camera is still going in and out. So yeah, that was the icebreaker there. If you want to reset April, that's fine, and you come back in again one more time. She's having a little difficulty there, but you know, hey, we're gonna keep it going, gonna keep it rolling. What you guys got to say in the comments? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you guys feel like National Guard could help them out, or how do you guys feel about that? You good now?
Maybe so. I changed the connection. So, it's real smooth now. Okay.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay. Skywalker said, well, there were quite a few incidents during the late 1800s as well. Yeah. Clash said, help. Yeah.
Help. Yeah. I mean, it's send the guard. If that's what it takes to clean it up, then so be it. You know, it is what it is. People need to put their pride to the side. If they feel that they can clean it up, if the mayor feels that he can clean it up by himself, why hasn't it been done already? But I mean, why is it still occurring?
And I'm gonna let me talk to my people. I gotta talk to my people. Let me talk to my people real quick. if you guys don't like something, right? Let's say hypothetically you guys are not Trump fans. That's fine. We all can like who we want to like, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I was the mayor and I wanted to win the next election again, I think I'm going to clean up the city.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I'm going to do what I feel is the safest thing for my city. And then that's what you run on the next year. You took the guns off the street. You collaborated with the president of the United States to clean up the city. You got some new grants. You got some new money brought into the community. Maybe once you clean up the community, maybe the city will bring in more businesses and more people will come there. Like, I don't understand why we won't take what we might consider something negative and turn it into a positive for ourselves. Because as I mentioned before, this is what those nonprofits are doing. That's why that lady... How many of y'all know a CEO or a lady running a football league?
Not too many.
And she only running because she had a good background check. Skywalker said National Guard is kind of iffy. The Guard will be against citizens, not enemies. That too can be true. That could be true, Skywalker. But I think at this point, how many more lives are you willing to risk to worry about how iffy the Guard is? And the Guard... Right now, the Guard has 0 incidents in D.C. There hasn't been any accidental firings of weapons. There haven't been anyone hurt. There haven't been. Right now, the National Guard looks like a good plan. And you got to think about it, Skywalker, the National Guard is your neighbor. A lot of your Guard and Reserve people are people you know that go to work
right there in your neighborhood every day. Yeah.
So also that's going to provide that person with a monthly income. They're going to get paid like a regular active duty member.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wins off of this. You know what I mean? I understand the possible fear, but we have to push that fear to a side to get some relief, because right now Chicago needs some relief. Oz says Chi-Town used to be one of the greatest cities in America. Same with Detroit. Look at them now. These Democrats had control for how long? Yeah. Detroit is actually improving a little bit. They just made some big moves in the downtown area. So they're actually improving. The crime rate has actually went down in Detroit. Only reason I know that is because that's where Anton Daniels lives. So he does a lot of research on this community there. But I do recognize what you're saying. He said, definition of insanity, balls. Yeah. Shout out to the balls. Yeah, he said, well said. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I just feel like you guys got to provide some type of relief at this point. You know what I mean? And try to look at the positives. Like, you know, look at those Guard members who are going to get some active duty time put on their record. Because y'all know people in the Guard and Reserve don't get no time towards their retirement if they're not on orders, if they're not working. They're doing just weekend duty. That, you know, that's going to help them out.
1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, however it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or maybe the Chicago Police Department should open up more jobs for for military members. Maybe they should do. That's what Wes Moore said he was going to do for the federal workers. That never happened. Skywalker said pros and cons to weigh. Understand? Yeah. You're right. I ain't gonna lie to you now. I ain't gonna lie to you. There is some pros and cons. I just right now I only can see it from what we're seeing in DC. So right now it looks good. But I know what you guys mean, because I heard people really talk in depth about, you know, if we allow them to do this, what's next?
What's next? Yeah.
So, and I know some citizens said too, like, hey, why do I have to have a curfew, or why do I have to be controlled if I'm not causing a problem? So
right.
So I definitely respect it. I respect it for sure. And April can't talk too much. She's not just being quiet to be quiet. She works so she can't do all this, like talk about these subjects like I can. I said, but serious, yeah, got to look at it at what's in the DA's directives have been, catch and release.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So just wanted to start off with that icebreaker tonight. we do it for our boy Oz, most importantly, man. And I would like to tell anybody in the chat, if there's ever certain topics or certain things you guys want us to talk about, put it in the chat, man. We'll bring it up. Oz was big on politics and things that are going on, so we try to make sure we put something in our show every night that we're on, just to make sure that it's something that you guys can really